Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, and welcome to the NFL Christmas Day Football Edition. My name is Abby. This is for the 25th of December. We got 3 games in the NFL. The lines, of course, on the front end are courtesy of, as you know by now, covers.com. Line moves, totals, in the injury report. That's covers.com. Again, we cover up to just a shorter version of the line moves, totals, in the injury report and other pertinent and important information. And then on the back end, as you guys know by now, it's oddslogic.com. This is the full version, an up-to-the-minute version of the line moves, totals, and the injury report, up to the minute, up to the second information. And of course, it covers all professional sports leagues. Again, it's oddslogic.com. It'll be in the description below. Check it out. It's a game changer. Again, take advantage of that tool and resource. That's oddslogic.com. All right, so we're going to get to the games right now. There'll be the first game we're going to discuss is Dallas at Washington. This one here, no client play on this one, but I do have a recommended play for you guys, but no client play here. This one is opened up -3. That was the opening number, -3, and opened up at 51. Now it's dropped by about half a point to 50.5. And we're seeing now 8.5s across the board. This is where we're at now. Now, one book does have it at 10, but we are seeing predominantly right now 8.5. That's basically what we're seeing. We're going to look at the injury report for this game. We'll get to that first. First on the Dallas side for the Cowboys. Tyler Guyton, left tackle, has an ankle issue. He is out for the season. We have DeMarvion Obershon has a concussion. He's a linebacker that has a concussion. He is out for this game. Questionables we have is Ryan Flournoy, wide receiver, has a knee issue. He is questionable to play today. That's 50-50. Quinnen Williams, defensive lineman, concussion, questionable to play today as well, 50-50. Miles Sanders, as you know, is out for the season, running back with a leg injury. So that's the injury report for the Dallas side. Washington side for the Redskins, or I should say the Commanders, The Commanders, we have Christopher Rodriguez Jr., running back, has an illness, is 50-50 to play in this game. Deron Payne, defensive tackle, is out with a knee injury. Laramie Tunsil, left tackle, has an oblique. He is out for this game. Josh Johnson, quarterback, will be starting him. He hasn't started, I think, since 2021, from what I read. So he hasn't started in about 4 years. So Josh Johnson will be starting for this game. He's the starting quarterback. Marcus Mariota, is downgraded to outs for this game with a hand injury. Samuel Cosmi, guard, has a concussion. He's out for the season. Brandon Coleman, free safety, knee injury. He is questionable to play 50-50. Jalen Lane, wide receiver, has ankle issues. He's 50-50, questionable. And George Fant, nose tackle, ribs. He is questionable, 50-50 as well. And that's it for the injury report for both teams. Now we're going to go to where the sharps and the public is for this game. So, public all over Dallas, no surprise. And the total's a bit of resistance on the over-under. Bit of resistance. Early money came in on the over. A lot of money coming in now on the under. So a bit of resistance here on this one. So my play for this game, I would look, to me, I would take, let's see here. Let me take a look here. This one you may have to shop around for the best number. But I would look at Let's see. Let's see the best thing to take here. I would take Dallas in the first. Actually, no. Hold on a second. Mm, mm. I would look at the under. I think the under. I like the under. I would take the under. I'd lean to the under. Under 50 and a half. I lean to the under. I just think I would take the under because Josh Johnson, he hasn't played since 2021 at quarterback. So I expect from the Washington end that I don't think they're going to put up a lot of. I don't think they're going to score a lot of points. In my opinion, not going to put up a lot because I see Washington with Josh Johnson. They're going to be doing some conservative play calling. So I don't see them really opening up the playbook too much for a guy who hasn't played football in about 4 years. So I see him being conservative, making the game, trying to simplify the game for Josh Johnson. So I don't see too much points on the Washington side. Dallas, obviously, they're going to put up a bulk in the majority of the points, but still, it's not going to be enough to have this game go over the total. So that's why I like the under. I'd say under 50 and a half. That's my play on that. That's the reason why I like the under. That's how I would go about that. That's how I would go about that. That's my take for that. Nothing on the side. Nothing. I'm leaving the side alone. I'm not touching the side. I'm going to leave that alone. So I'm going to pass on the side. I mean, if I had to play the side, I would lean to Dallas. I'm not making it. I didn't make it a client play because I don't truly trust Dallas to cover point spreads of this magnitude because they've been putting up a lot of points, but they haven't really been covering the spread at home. In my opinion, I haven't really been covering it. So I that's why I say I lean that way. It's not one of my strong plays for at 8.5. So I mean that's how I look at that. First half, I don't want to touch them in the first half either. I just don't trust Dallas. I know Dallas will win the game; they're going to win, but to win by 8.5 points, I don't trust that. I don't trust them there. I don't trust them in this spot. That's why I say it's just a lean for me, and that's it. Now for the player props, we're gonna look at that now. So my recommendations here: Dak Prescott over 1.5 TDs. I like that one a lot. That's one recommended play. Dak Prescott over 271 passing yards. I like that a lot. I think he's gonna have a big day. He usually does pretty well on these nationally televised games whether it's Thanksgiving Day games, big when it's a nationally televised games, standalone games. He does pretty well. So I like Dak Prescott over 271 and a half passing yards, over 1.5 TDs. I like that. Receiving props, I'm gonna go with CD Lamb over 5.5 receptions. I like that. Pickens over 5.5 receptions. I expect both guys to have a big day. I like both of those guys there. On the Washington side, I'll go with Scary Terry, 3.5 receptions. I'll take that one. That's Terry McLaurin. I go with that. Receiving yards, I like Pickens over 78.5 receiving yards. CD Lamb over 81.5 receiving yards. I expect both those guys to have a big day. So I like both of those. Over 78.5 receiving yards Pickens, over 81.5 receiving yards CD Lamb. I like both of those. On the Washington side, I'll go with Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel's over 44.5 receiving yards. I'll take Deebo Samuels. I like that one there. I won't talk you off Scary Terry over 51.5 receiving yards. But I prefer in this case here Debo Samuel's over 44.5 receiving yards. I prefer that one. Rushing props. Rush attempts. Actually, so rushing yards. I'll go with Javonte Williams over 72.5 rushing yards. I like that one. That's probably the best one. That's the best one I like for that. Nothing else for this game. So those are all the player props for this game for Dallas and Washington. I gave you my play on that game. Not a climb play, not one of my favorite plays, but that's what I'm going with. I like the under, like I said, in the Dallas game, and I already gave the player props, and my lean would be Dallas to cover, but we'll see. So that's it for that game. The second game, Detroit, Minnesota. I have a climb play for this one, but I will give you my thoughts on this game as well. So Detroit and Minnesota. This one opened up at 3.5. Opened up at 3.5. Opened up at 48.5. This is dropped by about 5 points. It dropped by 5 points. So it was pretty significant. Dropped by 5 points. So it's 43.5 now. And then the spread went up from 3.5 to 7.5. Because JJ McCarthy's out of the lineup. That's why the spread went up to 7.5. Detroit. So now we're gonna check the injury report. Actually, it was 40. It's 44 now. I gotta have to change that. It was 43, but now it's 44. I gotta switch that. It just went up to 44. Let me change that now. Let me change that right now. It's 44 and it's 44. It did go up a little bit. It is at 44. Yep, it went up. So we're gonna get to the injury. We're gonna get to the. We'll get to the injury report now for this game. We'll get to that now. So we're gonna look at the Detroit side for the Lions. So we got David Montgomery. He had an illness, but he will be playing. He's upgraded to playing this game. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver, is questionable. He's 50-50 with he has some knee issues. Kirby Joseph, as you know, is on the IR with knee issues as well. He's out for the season. Brian Branch, cornerback, out for the season. Terrion Arnold, cornerback, out for the season. He has a shoulder injury. Brian Branch, an Achilles. Sam Laporta's up for the season with back issues, so he's out. So that's the injury report for Detroit. We're going to look at the Minnesota side now for the Vikings. We got TJ Hawkinson is out. Tight end with a shoulder injury. Jordan Mason, running back, out for the season. So Max Brosmer, he is the starting quarterback in place of JJ McCarthy. So he'll be playing today. McCarthy's out with a hand injury. Ryan Kelly, concussion, is questionable to play today. So he's 50-50. So that's the injury report for both teams. Now we're going to go to where the public and sharps are for this game. And the public is on the Detroit Lions. No surprise, they're getting all the money. And all of a sudden, we're seeing a lot of over money coming now. You're seeing the over money come in this game. So the over money's coming on this one here. So there was some under money. So there's a little bit of resistance on this one. There was some under money yesterday. Today now we're seeing the over money. So a bit of resistance coming in on this one for the total. Like I said, I have a client play on this game, but I will give you my thoughts on this, my play on this one, and what I would recommend. So this one here, this one here, we will look at. We're going to take a look at the first. We'll take a look at the We'll take a look at the first half. We'll take Minnesota in the first half. Minnesota in the first half. 4.5. I know that they got a new quarterback. He's a rookie quarterback. I understand that, but I would still take Minnesota at least in the first half to keep it close to a certain degree, because Minnesota, they can still, their defense and the running game should keep them in the game early. That's why I took them in the first half. I like him in the first half here. So I would recommend, that's my recommendation for that play. I don't Detroit, they look a little bit shaky right now. So to lay this many points, I don't really trust them to lay this many points for a full game, let alone in the first half, because they haven't looked themselves. They're a little bit off this year. They're having like an off year. Yeah, they haven't looked themselves at all. They look pretty bad. So that's why I don't really trust them here in the first half. I can't trust them. I don't trust them here at all. Yeah, Pittsburgh, they didn't look too good. Steelers came in there and they just dominated them. So I can't trust them right now. And plus, yeah, I don't trust them. So I gotta take at least for the first half Minnesota at 4.5. I take them in the first half 4.5. And for the total, I have a client play for that, so I have that there. You got to go to sportsmemo.com for that. But now for the player props for this game, you get to the player props. Let's see. I like Jared Goff. Jared Goff over 1.5 TDs. I like that one. That's a good one. Passing yards, Goff over 246.5 passing yards. I like him in that spot too. That one's good. Receiving yards, I would go with, for the Detroit side, I would take, I guess the best one to look at is Amon-Ra St. Brown over 6.5 receptions. That's probably the best one to take, obviously. On the Minnesota side, I would look at this one's a little bit tricky because remember you have a new quarterback, so we got the new quarterback in there. It's a little tricky to figure out which one's which. That one's tricky for the receiving. I should say for receptions. That one's kind of tricky. So I'm not sure about the receptions for on the Minnesota side. I mean, I would lean towards Jalen Nailor. Jalen Nailor over 1.5 receptions on the Minnesota side. That's all I can say. I mean, you have Aaron Jones over 2.5 receptions. Those ones I would go with. That's my thoughts on that as a lean. Rushing props. Rush attempts, I like Aaron Jones over 14.5 rush attempts. I like that because you got a rookie quarterback playing. And Minnesota, I think they're going to rely on the running game to keep him in this game early and often. So I look for Aaron Jones. Give him the ball. I would feed him the ball a lot. So that way Minnesota has a chance to stay in the game. Ball control, time of possession. So that's why I like Aaron Jones over 14.5 rush attempts. I like that. Rushing yards, I would look at I can't trust it. I don't trust Detroit run. The run defense is terrible for Detroit. I don't trust them. So I like Aaron Jones over 57.5 rushing yards. I like that for Minnesota. So like I said, if they're going to stay in this game, it's going to be Aaron Jones. You have to feed the ball to Aaron Jones, and he has to have a big day for them to stay in this game. So I like Aaron Jones over 57.5 rushing yards. I like that. Detroit side, I'll go with Jahmyr Gibbs, 74.5 over 74.5 rushing yards. I'll go with that as well. That's a good one. I won't talk you off of Montgomery. Montgomery over 33.5 rushing yards too. I won't talk you off of that either. Those are good ones. Nothing else here. That's it for the rush attempts, rushing yards. Nothing else there. So that's it for this game. That's all. That's all for this game. So we gave you the first half, Minnesota at 4.5, and we gave you the rushing props. I have a client play for the on this game. If you want the client play, sportsmomo.com, Abbysportsbettingpicks for that. So we're done with the Detroit Minnesota game. That one's done. And now for the third and final game, we're going to look at Denver at Kansas City. That'll be the third and final one we're going to look at here. So this one here opened up at 5.5. Denver 5.5 early on, 39.5. So now the total has shot up all the way to 13.5. It has gone up. So we'll get to why it's like that. We're going to get to that now. We'll get to the injury report first. First, we'll do the injury report for Denver Broncos. Kareem Reed, linebacker, is out for today's game with a hamstring injury. Nate Atkins, tight end, is out with an ankle injury. So Kareem Reed had a hamstring injury, so he's out. Third player is Luke Wattenberg, center, is out with an ankle injury at Kansas City. He's out. Pat Bryant, wide receiver, has back issues, is out versus Kansas City. Dre Greenlaw, linebacker, has an Achilles. He's out for this game as well. Justin Sternad, linebacker, ankle, is 50-50 for this game as well. That's it for the Detroit side. Kansas City, we have Trent McDuffie, cornerback, out for the season. Rashid Rice out for the season with a concussion. Trent McDuffie, knee injury, out. Gardner Minshew, quarterback, he's out. He only played one game and he's out already with a knee injury. Taquan Thornton, wide receiver, has an ankle issue, but he is questionable to play, 50-50. Jawan Taylor, cornerback, ankle issue, also 50-50, questionable to play Thursday. Derek Nanati, defensive tackle, questionable to play with a heel. He has a heel issue. Jalen Moore, offensive lineman, questionable to play Thursday with a knee issue. Nazee Johnson, cornerback, ankle, questionable to play Thursday versus Denver. Leo Cheney, linebacker, knee, questionable to play Thursday versus Denver. So we'll look into this here further. So Mahomes is out. Gardner Minshew is out. This is interesting. Let's see here. Let's see. This is very interesting here. So the new quarterback's going to be Chris Oladokun. Chris Oladokun will be the starting quarterback for the Chiefs. That'll be the starting QB, Chris Oladokun. So he'll be starting this game here. So he did, yeah. So he'll be playing. Chris Oladokun played at the University of South Florida. Then he played at Stanford. So he had some college. He played in college. He's on the practice squad for Kansas City in 2022. Yeah, so so now we got a chance to see him play today. So we'll see how he plays. I never heard of this guy before. I'm just reading about him now. Never heard of him, but that's who he is. He's gonna start today. So we'll I already gave you the injury report. So now we're gonna go to where the public and sharps are for this game. We'll take a look at that now. Public and sharps here. Public all over Denver, no surprise, and they're on the under. It's pure under money. So all under money, no resistance on the total for that at all. pure under money. And I'll give you my thoughts on this game now. 13.5. Take a look at this here. It's a lot of points. 13 is a lot of points for a divisional game. I would look at 13 is a lot of points. I'm gonna take Kansas City to cover the 13.5. That's a lot of points. I'm gonna take Kansas City to cover the 13. I think they cover the 13 points. I think they're gonna cover it. To me, it's a lot of points. I know Mahomes is out of the lineup. I know that already. I know Mahomes is out. Minshew's I understand all that, but still, 13 points, 13.5 points is a lot of points. Even though Mahomes is out, Minshew's out, rookie quarterback in, still, I don't try. I can't lay those kind of points. I gotta take Kansas City, and I'm backing the Chiefs based off of the number. It's only based off of the number. Based off of the number alone, nothing else. It's just, to me, is just too high. I know, like I said, I know the Chiefs are missing a lot of players, especially at the quarterback position. But still, with all that being said, 13 to me is a lot of points. Like I said, I'm playing against the number, and I'm playing. I'm just taking the Chiefs, guys. It's just too many points. It's just ridiculous. Too much points. I would recommend Kansas City. That's all I have on this. I do have a client play for this game as well. You can check it out at sportsmomo.com. There's a client play for this. Well, that's my take on that. That's it. Now we're gonna get to that, and we got to do the player props. We get to the player props now. So player props here. We're gonna look at. We'll look at. We'll say Bo Nix over 1.5 TDs. I like Bo Nix 1.5 TDs. Passing yards, Bo Nix. I'll leave that one alone. We'll leave that one alone. So I'll just say Bo Nix over 1.5 TDs. We'll say that. Receptions, I should say. We'll go to the receptions. Cortland Sutton over 4.5 receptions. I like that one a lot. Troy Franklin over 3.5 receptions. Those are good ones. Kansas City side, we look at Juju Schuster over 1.5 receptions. I like that one there. That's it for that. Rushing props, we look at we're going to look at RJ Harvey over 14.5 rush attempts. We look at that because I look for Denver to have a lot of ball control, and they're going to run the ball a lot. They run the ball a lot with a lot of ball control, so they can control time of possession. So I do like RJ Harvey over 14.5 rush attempts. Isaiah Pacheco over 10.5 rush attempts. I like that one a lot too. So if Kansas City is going to stay in this game and make this and give themselves a chance, Pacheco's the guy that has to get a lot of touches and run the ball a lot. So I like Pacheco over 10.5 rushing attempts. Nothing else there. Rushing yards, I look at Pacheco over 37.5 rush attempts. I'm sorry. Pacheco over 37.5 rushing yards. I like that. Bo Nix over 14.5 rushing yards. I like that one too for Denver. So I like both of those. Nothing else to add to this. That's it. That's all I have. Nothing else to add for this game. That's all for the player props. That's it. So we covered all 3 games. Everything's been covered. That's it. Everything has been covered in this game. So nothing else to add. Nothing else to add to this. That's pretty much it. Again, go to sportsmobile.com, Abbysportsbettingpicks. You got to go there. Sportsmobile.com, Abbysportsbettingpicks, and I will have my client plays for the NFL. I have 2 client plays for the NFL today. 2 client plays. So it's all there. So the NFL. So you want to check that out there. NFL 26-22 run last 30 days. So you want to check that out. And I do have some NBA games as well. I have a couple NBA games as well too. NBA 4-2 run last 7 days of the NBA. So you want to check that out as well. So everything will be there. Sportsmobile.com, Abbysportsbettingpicks. The client plays will be there for today. You want to get them before 4 p.m. this afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to get those client plays. Take advantage of those client plays. They are going to be available. So check them out. NBA and NFL. Check them out there. Nothing else to add, nothing else to say. I'll have everything in the description below. So again, whether you fit or follow the recommended plays or picks that I gave you, it's up to you. I just look at the plays, make my assessment, and make my picks. Good luck to you guys. Let's have a productive and winning Christmas Day. Let's cash these tickets and increase bankroll, make some money. Nothing else to add, nothing else to say. Again, oddslogic.com, everything's there on oddslogic.com. Covers all professional sports leagues. Check it out. Everything will be there. And lastly, we do have the holiday special. Everything that you get at sportsmobile.com is 25% off. So you want to check that out there as well. It's a Christmas holiday special that we have at sportsmobile.com. Again, I believe there's a code. Let's check that out now. Code is Christmas. So XMAS25. That's the code. 25% off everything. Code is Xmas. XMAS25. That's the code. XMAS25. Check all that out there. So anything that you guys get on the site, on sportsmemo.com, if you purchase my plays, my client plays that I have available, it's 25% off. Anything there, it'll be 25% off. So take advantage of that. Again, nothing else to add, nothing else to say. Good luck to you guys. Let's hope whatever you fit or follow my picks, have a big day and cash some tickets, hit some winners, and stay true to yourself, stay blessed, believe in yourself. And we'll have the next video for Saturday, for the NFL on Saturday. We got 2 games on Saturday for the NFL. Good luck to you guys. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Peace and out. Take it.